This here is a car that I've been meaning to get onto the channel for quite some time. It is my wife's Porsche Macan S. It's a 2015 model, which now makes it 10 years old. And it has also done 173,000 miles. A car that I was only supposed to keep for a few months. 3 years later, it's still here. When I purchased this Porsche Macan 3 years ago, it had 135,000 miles on it, and we have used it considerably throughout the 3 years of ownership, which is why it now has the 173,000 miles. But it's just been such a good car. It was good value when I bought it, because even back then it was considered to be a higher mileage example, but now it's got to the point where I want to see how far we can actually get with it. Now, of course, looks are important when it comes to a car. As mentioned, this is now 10 years old, but I still think it really fits in today's Porsche market. The lights are fantastic along the rear. We've got quad tail pipes, which I think really finish off the look, and I really like the silver metallic paint because I think it wears the miles ever so well. You can't really notice any stone chips. There's certainly no scratch marks or anything to indicate that it's done anywhere near the mileage that it has. I love the 21-inch alloys. They were an expensive option from factory. We'll get into the wear and tear of the tyres and everything shortly. And I also really quite enjoy the inside. It's a beautiful tan interior that has worn the miles incredibly well. If we take a look at the bolsters, none of them are ripped, and even the colour discoloration isn't too bad at all. But it's got an enormous wealth of options, which we'll go through shortly. But in terms of the overall condition of the car, I think it's done ever so well. It really is a compliment to the Porsche build quality. Of course, it's very important to point out that when I purchased this vehicle, it had the most exemplary service history throughout the entirety of its life. The 3-litre V6 diesels are already known to be a very, very good engine. They're not without fault. We'll get into those later. But to start with, as a car, as it came with the service history, I was very, very confident running it, even with 135,000 miles. And other than the bits that we've carried out on it, which is nothing too extensive, to reach 173, it's got plenty of life left in it. And having stocked and sold a fair few Porsches from this era, you start to pick up on what is standard on a car and what is an additional extra. And the honest truth is, with the Porsche of this age, there was not a lot that came as standard on the car. So this one does have a wealth of options, one of which being the emblem on the seats, believe it or not. That is quite an expensive option to have from the factory. They do give this kind of idea that when you jump into the driver's seat, it's almost like they want you to feel like you are driving a spaceship, because we've had cars with quite a few blank buttons, and then this one, which is quite well spec'd. So we've got on here lane departure warning, off-road, sport mode, heated seats, and we've got the dual climate control in there as well. We've of course got the central screen, which you have FM, AM, DAB and Bluetooth, and of course satellite navigation, which that does start to feel a little bit dated these days, it's fair to say. We have also discussed the option of maybe upgrading that to an Apple CarPlay. That's still on our mind to do so, but for a really good system like we've used ID Core in the past, it can be a little bit of an expensive option. And the honest truth is that once I'm in, I put my phone onto the magnetic holder here, it streams to Bluetooth. The music sound quality is excellent in this Porsche, and I'm quite happy using that for my maps and everything like that. So it's not an essential upgrade, but if you did want to modernize it a little bit, that would be a good way of doing so. Cruise control, also an additional extra, and believe it or not, cruise control with the speed limiter is again another tier to go up. The multifunctional steering wheel, believe it or not, is an additional extra with the color crest in the middle. But just to show you the dash there, so it has done 173,000 miles with 780, and then we've also got a semi-digital dash on this side as well, and again using the controls on the steering wheel I can go through so you can get your map and everything. So that's still very, very, very relevant, still feels very fresh to use on this 10-year-old car. And electric heated memory seats again would have been an additional extra. One additional feature that I am very, very pleased was ticked from factory, because I do feel like it helps keep it modern, is the headlight upgrade. So this has the upgraded xenon headlights with the LED daytime running lights. There are a couple of Porsche Macans that I've seen driving around here locally, the same age as this, that don't have those headlights, and they do start to show their age a little bit more than this one here does. You'll notice if I go head on, we've got 4 LEDs around the xenon. That is the indication that it has the upgraded headlights on there, but it just looks fantastic with the personal plate on as well. you wouldn't necessarily know that this has done the mileage that it has. But as previously mentioned, it's in lovely condition. I mean, it is a bit dirty because we use it as our everyday car, but the actual condition of any of the plastics, any of the bumpers, any of the paintwork is absolutely excellent. And as mentioned, I love those 21-inch alloys. We run the Pirelli P0 tyres. That's what we've upgraded it. Every time that we've had tyres done, we always put those back onto it because they are just a fantastic tyre and they do wear very well. But yeah, just I can't believe anyone would think that this car was 10 years old or that it's done 173,000 miles, because it has worn just that much better than other cars that I've seen with similar kind of mileage on it. Now we're going to take it out on the road. I'll let you know how it drives, and we'll also go through some of the things that we've done in terms of maintenance and repair through our 3 years of ownership with this car. As much as this is Sophie's car, I also drive it quite a lot. In particular, if I'm going away somewhere for the weekend or doing a long distance journey to go and collect a car and I've got someone else with me, I leave Sophie with my Land Rover Defender 110 because it's a commercial version. And if you're familiar with the channel, you'll also know that we have 2 Border Collies. So for practicality reasons, I end up taking this on the longer runs, which of course is quite easy to rack up the miles like we have. But I always enjoy the driving experience of this car. It all still feels very tight. That's not to mean that it hasn't come without maintenance costs, which we'll get into in just a moment. But as it stands today and as I'm driving it right now, it's such a pleasant place to be that unless you were looking at the odometer, you wouldn't know that it had done 173,000 miles at all, because it all just feels exactly as you would expect a Porsche to feel. And albeit a diesel SUV, it is the 3-litre V6 diesel, which as standard is 260 brake horsepower. We have had it remapped ever so slightly just to 300 horsepower. It's not something I ordinarily do, but it is quite a common practice for people with these 3-litre V6s just to unleash a little bit more. It almost feels like that's what it should have been from factory, around that 300 horsepower mark. So we did that, and I'm very pleased that we did, because it also improved the MPG ever so slightly, which means that on a longer run we're achieving upwards of 40 miles to the gallon, and that is obviously a very considerable bit to kind of do when you're doing these kind of mileage, especially in the comfort that I'm doing it in. The steering is slightly heavy, but that's not because this is done an enormous amount of miles. They just all are, unless you've got some kind of steering upgrade, which this one doesn't. We've had the Panamera with both. I quite like the fact that it is slightly heavier. You do get a little bit more of a direct feel for it, and at the end of the day, I like to know that we are driving a Porsche, which this very much is. So yeah, even though, as I say, it is a diesel SUV, it's very direct. It does feel very sporty, and also at the same time very comfortable. The seats are wonderful to sit in on those longer journeys. A couple of the other bits that we've had done, we had an engine management light come on last year at some point, and it was in relation to the AdBlue system, because of course it is a Euro 6 engine in this, which does mean that it does have the AdBlue additive. Not something I wholeheartedly agree with, but that's a conversation for another time. But it just meant that we needed to have a new injector on the DPF system, which actually injects the AdBlue as and when it's needed. So got that sorted. We also did the transfer case. It's a very common problem on the Porsche Macans, not in particular when it comes to mileage. They're just a problem from factory, which is the unfortunate truth. We couldn't determine whether it was the first transfer case that it had, because of course it might have had one previous to my ownership, but we did it and we fitted the transfer case, and since then that's been absolutely fine. You can always tell when it's just about to go, because upon acceleration under load, if you're going up a hill or anything like that, it's almost like snatchy as you're accelerating. It's trying to like grab, so it's quite a telltale sign. But since we had that done, that's all been absolutely fine. And then the other quite a common thing, which this one I've also had completed on, is the suspension arms. Anything within the VAG group, the Volkswagen Audi group, they have a weird, albeit when it works it is quite a dynamic drive, but a weird setup on the front where they literally have like 3 suspension arms and they all seem to go at the same time, just because obviously they are slightly heavier on the front end in these cars. They've got some weird banana arms that need doing, and when they wear, it almost accelerates it because of the way that it's set up. If it has a little bit of movement, it soon turns into a lot of movement, just because, especially with the roads around here with potholes and everything, give it a little bit, it'll take a lot. So we had all new suspension arms put on the front. None of these fixes were particularly cheap, but then you can't expect them to be cheap if you're driving around in a Porsche Macan. So I didn't mind doing it because it has really improved the longevity of the car and also the drive. But in terms of the actual physical engine and gearbox setup, it's been absolutely brilliant. As mentioned, it has a very good service history prior to our ownership, and we've maintained it just as well, if not better. I'm very much a believer when it comes to engines. They need to be driven properly, and what I mean by that is they need to get up to temperature, and they need to do that regularly, and they need to do it for longer drives to keep the system as clear as it can be. And of course, when we use this to go and collect a lot of other cars at distance, it's perfect for that type of thing. And I also changed the oil in this. Maximum it goes is 8,000 miles before an oil change, but we quite often do it around 6,000 miles. Some would say that that's a little bit excessive, but then I'd also point to the fact that it's done these kind of miles relatively trouble-free, particularly on the engine, and I think that is in holding to doing those regular maintenance intervals. So yeah, it has done 173,000 miles, but you would by no means think that it had done that unless you were looking at that odometer. All feels ever so tight, there's no knocks, there's no rattles. Tyres, we've also had 2 sets of tyres on it. As I mentioned, we used the Pirelli P0 tyres because that's the manufacturer recommendations, and they are excellent. I use the Pirelli tyres on anything that I put tyres on. So my Defender also has the Pirellis. Any of the Range Rovers we sell, that's of course Land Rover fitment to replace it with them. I'm very much an advocate that if you maintain your car and you look after your tyres and everything like that, then the car will look after you. And there's no exception here. But yeah, it is so comfortable to be in. The insulation from the engine bay, it's all very, very good, and still feels very relevant to be within this cockpit area. And I've also got every bit of confidence in this Porsche with the build quality and how it holds up, that if I find myself on a winding B road that I know quite well, I'll very happily press that sport button and give it a bit of a go. There's no part of hesitation with me thinking, oh, because it's done this kind of mileage, is something going to go? Because it's just fantastic. The way that it drives, the way that it holds up. We've recently done the brake pads all round. They're relatively big, and again, not necessarily cheap brake pads, but you'll know that you'll stop when you need to, which means that you have every bit of confidence to have a bit of fun in your Porsche, which is what you should absolutely be doing. So yeah, I cannot bring myself to part with this car. There have been a fair few other cars that have been offered to us that I've thought, oh, maybe that would be quite nice for Soap to jump into. But then I drive this car again and I think I cannot bring myself to get rid of it, because it does everything that I want it to do perfectly. The longer, comfortable motorway cruises, excellent. Overall appearance of the car is fantastic. With a private plate on, you pull up to places, people don't necessarily know the value of what it is that you're driving, and it's just exceptional value for money for me. And I don't know where I'd sell it to. I love the car that much. I don't want to get rid of it. I really don't. It's one of my favorite cars to drive. It's one of my favorite cars that we own, and I really want to get it to that 200,000 mile mark, and I'm sure I will with confidence. I'll just keep up regular maintenance, and if something needs attending to, it will get attended to. I think that's just the general rule of any car, but it just, with this craftsmanship and this quality from Porsche, I've got no doubt in my mind that we can do that and more. So yeah, very, very pleased with it. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, just because it is as good as it is. So there we have it. That is my high mileage hero in the shape of a Porsche Macan. It's a car that I intend to put many more miles on and really enjoy doing so. Do you yourselves have a high mileage hero that you sit on your driveway, and do you agree that cars should absolutely be driven with every intention of getting those miles higher and higher? I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.